I want to look at this right now, just a little bit, about exposure to media violence. You can see the brain. That's low exposure. And then high media violence exposure. Look right here. So this is a set of scans that show brain activity during normal decision making. Exercise called Go and Go. Go, no go. When it comes to looking into the future, weighing consequences and making decisions, the low media violence exposure group is using a lot of the logical part of their brain. The high media violence exposure group is using very little. The conclusion is, after studying and comparing all of the brain scans of all the teenagers, what did the researchers conclude? The most surprising result was that normal teenagers with a high amount of exposure to media violence had reduced activity in the logical part of their brain, similar to those of teens with disruptive behavior disorder. All of the teens with the disruptive behavior disorder had less activity in the logical part of their brains than normal teenagers. The more violence they had seen, the more pronounced the deficit. The normal teens that had seen very little media violence had the most activity in the logical part of their brain. That's the part that parents want to develop in their children, the logical, be able to have some logic, think logically. All of the results indicate that there is a correlation between the amount of media violence children see and their ability to think logically. The next time you find your child playing a violent video game or watching an action movie, think, because you know why? You want them to think also. So one would think, and I thought also, that if somebody watched a lot of violence and stuff in video games and stuff, they're going to be desensitized and they'll be able to react, but that's not the case. They're not even going to be able to react logically. They won't be able to think. They won't. It's just, I think it's like going to be just reaction. That's it, you all. This is a study that was done with decision making. The set of scans shows the brain activity during a decision making exercise called Go, no go. And when it comes into looking into the future, weighing the consequences of decision making, low media violence exposure group is using a lot of the logical part of their brain. The high media violence exposure is using very little. Gina, is this the case in all instances? I don't think so. But why would they do a study on that? Why would they study the exposure to violence and decision making and things like that? Now, granted, there's people who do play violent video games and watch violence on TV, but they're logical thinkers. I would like to think they'd be able to make good decisions based on what they're doing. But if you were to go by this one thing alone, right here, the logical part of the brain being activated because they had a low exposure, they lived a sheltered life, they watched what their eyes seen, as opposed to this group right here. No, right there. Hello there in Kentucky. Hello, you. I just wanted to share that with you. I thought that was really interesting. Right here, looking at that, you can think more logically according to this if you don't watch a lot of violence, because it probably does something to your body. Look at all this area that the brain is functioning in compared to this area that the brain is functioning in right there, you all. Think about it. Do you want it? Do you want it? So what can you do as a parent? You can provide a media-free zone in your child's bedroom. No TV, video games, computer, VCD players. Reduce the exposure children have to violent content in movies, TVs, and video games. Refuse to expose your children under the age of 7 to any violent content and entertainment. Make TV viewing a family activity and a TV in a common area. Turn off the television before school and don't let your children play violent video games. Check whatever for references. Know the content of the movies that before your child goes into the theater. Okay. For violence, information, sexual content, don't let the children under 17 go to an R-rated movie. Monitor your child's use on the internet. Don't let your child have unlimited access. Get involved. I used to do kidsinmind.com as a parent myself to see if a movie was suitable. And if it wasn't suitable, I didn't watch it and my children didn't watch it. They did not watch it. And growing up, there was no TV in our house except maybe 30 minutes. And it was what my mother felt was suitable, which I'm glad. My mother had a tight rein on us. And we weren't, running wild and stuff like that. But it's really interesting. Look at that. Low media violence. You're able to think more logically according to this exercise, a decision-making exercise right there. So you'd think that they're desensitized. Well, you're desensitized. And not only that, according to this, you cannot think logically anymore. That part of your brain is gone when it comes to decision making. But this part right here, it's there. It's there. Let me flip this around. Gina, honey, hello, you all. I've been outside. Still trying to get things done. Outside, I do feel an urgency within my being. You may feel an urgency within your being to get things done too. Anything and everything that you can while you can to prepare, because we don't know what tomorrow. I've got these old glasses on. They were better readers because why does my glasses look so weird? That's kind of embarrassing, you all. It's kind of embarrassing, but that's okay. I was able to read it. You all. Yeah, I would encourage you all to prepare. If there's anything you need to get done, please make preparations. Get done. Keep working every day toward them as long as you can. Do whatever you can do to prepare for a world that's been turned upside down, you all. Do it. Get your stuff going. That's right. Hello there in Germany. So I'm gonna be going, you all. So if you think that violence doesn't affect your child's brain, imagine, why is it at that critical age? Why at that critical age? It's like train up a child in the way they should go, and when they get old, they will not depart from it. They won't depart from it. And it is true. It can go either way on either side of the scale. Either side. They know what they're taught. They learn from example. They see and they watch you and they learn from you. They do. Or in your absence, they're going to have somebody else as a role model is what's going to happen. So this is it right here, you all. Brain scan. Low media violence, according to this decision-making exercise called Go, No, Go. The teenagers who had low media violence, they were able to use more logic in their brain than the people who were exposed, the same age group, to high media violence. And I think it's probably this little black area of that part of their brain. Look, like that. It's really interesting. So I'm going to go, you all. And with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello, from my heart to yours. Love you.